Danielle McCartan here for WFAN with Shaun O'Hara, Super Bowl champion Shaun O'Hara. Nice to see you down here in the Big Easy.
Yeah, it's great to be down here. I was here 12 years ago, last time the Super Bowl was here.
Yeah.
That was my first year working for the NFL Network, so it was a little bit different to be on that side of it.
Sure.
You could definitely do a lot more when you're not playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's a lot more festivities, a lot more parties, a lot more things going on.
Yeah, right.
But this city is awesome. And I remember the first time I was here for the Super Bowl, I'm like, I can't wait until it comes back.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like New Orleans this week. It's special, the atmosphere, the people, the food.
And here we are. I haven't eaten any of the food yet. I got in late last night, so I know I have to. I have to.
You got to catch up.
I know. Well, we'll start here, I guess. Shedeur Sanders just walked right by us with a big entourage of people. Is that the direction the Giants go in this draft?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows. Look, they're looking for a quarterback. You know, right now, this is all the information gathering process, trying to find out not just what kind of player they are, what kind of person they are. Obviously, Shedeur, he's got NFL DNA in him, and I think a lot of people know kind of what he can bring to the table. So it's funny, he had the same entourage last year at the Super Bowl, and he was still in college, so that's not new for him. I think one thing is, like, the guy has handled everything that's been thrown his way. So you think about, growing up with Deion Sanders as your father, he's been under the spotlight his entire life.
Yeah.
I don't think New York City, the bright lights of that would diminish him in any way. But, I think for the Giants right now, they're not just a quarterback fix away.
Right.
So it's not just, hey, we need to go get a quarterback and all of a sudden we're going to be a great team. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed right now.
That's what I try to remind people every time on the radio. And they're like, Shedeur, Cam Ward. I'm like, but they're not a quarterback away. The defense is not great. What would you say is the biggest target or need in this draft for the Giants?
Well, I think
obviously
the Giants,
quarterback.
yeah, look, they've done a good job. Last year's draft class was very profitable.
Sure.
They got a really good return on those investments this year on the field, but it was a young team. And I think the biggest thing that has really handicapped the Giants over the last couple of years is the lack of depth. As soon as a couple guys go down, now all of a sudden they're struggling to be competitive. So the depth on the roster is a big part of it. Obviously Andrew Thomas going down 2 years in a row has really made it tough, the domino effect of that. But I thought the offensive line play was much better this year. It was much more functional. I think, Carmen did a great job coming over his first year as the NOLA line coach.
Sure.
Really did a good job with them. So, look, I think that you can never have enough playmakers on offense. Malik Neighbors was an absolute injection of talent and explosive ability.
Yes.
It can't just be him.
Yes.
So I think they've got to continue to build pieces with that. Defensively, look, when Dexter Lawrence went down, things got a little tough.
Yeah.
But I think Bobby Okereke has been a stud for them.
Yeah.
And Brian Burns, those are two huge free agent acquisitions for them. I thought they did a great job with the draft classes. Tay Adams, a stud. I think Drew Phillips and Tyler Newman were great pickups.
Yes.
So I think the defense has a really good core of guys. Now you just have to keep adding talent to it.
Yeah.
And I think being in a more cap-healthy situation should help them with that.
Yeah, and two core guys that left were McKinney and, of course, Saquon Barkley, who is on the posters here playing in the Super Bowl. Now, everybody calls me up and they're like, why did the Giants get rid of him? He could have been... And you played the position. My thought is, okay, he was what he was here with the Giants because of the offensive line play. He goes to the Eagles with a much better offensive line, and that's why you're seeing what you're seeing. Is that a fair assessment of the situation? You tell me.
Yeah, I think this was an unbelievable opportunity for Saquon to go and play for Philadelphia. And, look, as a former Giant, I never wanted to see him wear anything but the NY on his helmet. But there's a business side of it, too. And I think for Saquon, this was just what is going to prolong my career. What's going to help me be the best running back I could be? And we're all seeing that. Seeing Saquon run right now and what he's done this season reminds me of his rookie year.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we saw his first year in the league. And when you look at some of the struggles that he had, it wasn't all his fault. And there were so many times where there was an unblocked defender as he's getting the ball.
Right.
There was a lot of negative runs. And it was because I don't think the offensive line played as well as they could have.
Sure.
And that's tough. It's tough as a running back to continue to sign up for that and to continue to run hard through all of that. So, look, I'm happy for Saquon. I think it's been great what he's been able to do, not just for himself, but for a team. For a guy to go to a team like that and have that much of an impact.
Yeah.
And most importantly, he's winning. Like, that's what I like to think players still care about.
Right.
It's not, forget about the contract, the
Right.
business side of it. Like,
Right.
you play football to win.
Yep.
You play football to be playing this week,
Sure.
to be playing in the Super Bowl. That's what it's all about.
Sure. Two more questions of you. Giants fans that have found themselves conflicted ones that love Saquon are now like, do I root for the Eagles in the Super Bowl, question mark? What do you say to those people?
Yeah, great question. I'm conflicted with that as well. So, yeah, I can't root for the Eagles. My heart won't let me do that.
Okay.
But I'm rooting for Saquon to have a big game.
Yeah.
Let him have 200 yards, and then let the Chiefs make history with their three-peat. I think that's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know Giants fans are conflicted. Look, I think it's okay to root for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to root for him, the person.
Yep.
And, look, because I think that's one of the things that people are realizing about Saquon down in Philadelphia is not just a great player, he's a great person. So, Giants fans, I know it's tough times right now, not just for that.
Yeah.
But, turning a program around, it's like trying to turn Titanic. This is not a speedboat.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Be patient.
And Saquon Barkley, I was going to say, you know a little bit about busting up dynasties. I mean, are you rooting for the Chiefs to make the new dynasty? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm rooting for a good game.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the way that I see it. I want it to come down to the wire.
Yeah.
I want it to come down to who's got the ball in the fourth quarter and who can make that throw, who can make that catch.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the Giants have 2 Lombardi trophies,
Yep.
From 42 and 46
Yeah.
because of those last drives of the game
Yep.
and what you're able to accomplish. So, that's what I'm kind of rooting for. But I think either way, it's going to be an epic story.
Yeah.
The Eagles started out, the season did start out very well.
Sure.
They went through some drama like we did in 2007 early on. People were kind of saying, things about Eli and about Coach Coughlin.
Sure.
And we kind of bonded together, and that made us closer. I think you look at the Chiefs, they're,
Powerhouse.
they're like a Pro Bowl roster when you kind of look around their offense and all the weapons that they have. So they're a tough out. But Mahomes, look, he's Jordan-like in his clutch ability and his ability to create.
Yep.
So even if you think you've got him bottled up, he somehow finds a way.
Yes.
So I think that's a rare talent, and we all get to witness it. So I think we got to appreciate that.
Shaun O'Hara, Chiefs or Eagles? One word.
Cheagles.
Oh, come on. Spoken like a true politician.
Is there overtime in the Super Bowl?
I vote.
Can they tie?
Yeah.
All right.
But it can't end in a tie.
Can they both lose?
No. Can they both lose? Come on.
All right.
I'm for the Chiefs. I get red on.
I'm rooting for the food.
The food. All right, Shaun O'Hara, thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Enjoy the game.